did you marry? I have tea today. That's how serious I am about this. Because I can't. Who the F did I marry? Explained.
Because it's the juice. And if you don't have the juice, you don't have it. So if you don't have the juice, you can't capitalize.
It has the juice.
Fill the room with the juice. That's a lot of loot. That big fire. Yeah, she calling.
I have never been so shook in my entire life. I heard about this weeks ago and I knew I didn't have the time. I said 7 hours. Wait, how many parts are there? No, I don't have time for that. Also, I was in Spain, so I was trying to do the whole quality time thing with my boyfriend, you know, focus on Valentine's Day, spending time with him, etc. So I just knew I'm just gonna have to wait until I'm back in London and then I can divulge whatever the heck is going on with who the did I marry, because I was kind of confused. I was like, wait a minute. So I'm seeing a video on YouTube that is 7 hours long and there are 1 million people watching this. 7 hours, that's a book. That's a movie. That's a series. And I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I did not look up any details. I just saw a black woman talking and I was just like, okay, I guess I'll just divulge in that when I can. So I got back from Spain on Sunday. I was actually sick, unfortunately, so I took some time to just kind of get my health back in order. And yesterday I decided, you know what, I'm gonna cook 2 meals, get my meal prep going, and start listening to what this is, because I had no idea. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And listen, if you have not watched this from part 1 to part 50, this is not the video for you, okay? You need to go do that. You need to go do that, because I just figured I would just be doing my little market research that I do before I do a YouTube video, because I wanted to see the video that Sesh created yesterday, which is about the ex wanting to sue. So I was like, oh, okay, this is getting interesting. I need to know what the heck's going on. I need to know what was said and why. And before we hop into this video, let me say this. I am somebody who I cannot trust. It's very hard for me to trust people. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how long I've known you. It doesn't matter if it's a relationship. It doesn't matter if it's a friendship. And I think because when you're somebody who grew up in a household where you couldn't trust your own parents, or there was a lot of trauma and just things going around in the household that you were just kind of in the mix with, but you just didn't know what was going on, it's very hard for you to be an adult and trust others when you did not have a very trusting or loving household as a child. And so for me, I'm listening to this story and I am just confirming all of my fears in the worst way possible. I am confirming them all. I am sitting there like, and this is exactly why love is terrifying, and this is exactly why it takes me forever to trust people, and yada, yada, yada. I'm just ruminating in my brain, just thinking of all of the terrible things that could happen in my own damn relationship, knowing damn well this ain't got nothing to do with me or my boyfriend, but I'm just sitting there just like terrified, because at the end of the day, you really don't know the situation that you're in until you're in the situation, if you know what I'm saying. And my heart was just going out to this woman. I was like, oh my Lord Jesus, because I can't imagine going through that pregnancy, miscarriage, the lies, the cheating, the infidelity. I mean, it just kept getting worse. And the death, the fake deaths, like it just kept getting more and more intense. And I was sitting there just like, this is a real lifetime movie. This is some Netflix writing a book worthy type content. And it just... and forgive me, you guys. Seriously, please forgive me, because I'm fresh, okay? This is not something that, you know, I listened to a week ago and here I am sitting on the couch talking to you guys. No, I just finished listening to the entire 50-part series this morning. And I sat here and was just like, oh my gosh. And it also gave me a sense of gratitude. You know what I'm saying? It gave me a sense of, wow, I'm not in that situation. I need to be grateful for what I got going on right now. Because at the end of the day, everybody has problems, whether it's work, personal, relationship, friendships. Like, we all have things that we're going through, and you got to really show some sort of gratitude towards that. And it just had me up in arms, you guys. So with that being said, if you are brand new here and you are just now seeing my face for the first time, my name is Pearl. We do commentary and reaction videos over here, and we are gonna hop into Risa, I believe that's her name. Tessa X wants to sue. Who the F did I marry? Explained. So I'm so excited to listen to this because I don't really know anything that's happening aftermath wise. I'm fresh. I just got done listening to it and I just cannot even fathom. And before I click play, a $34.99 engagement ring from Amazon? Who? The devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. I don't know if you've watched everything I've watched, but I just paused her live about the aftermath, people asking her questions in the live. And somebody asked her, how do you know that the ring is fake? And she said, I'm allergic to nickel. I damn near almost fell out of my seat when I heard that. I could not even, I mean, and don't get me wrong. I know everybody's situation is different. Some people cannot afford 3 carat, 4 carat, 5 carat, hell, 20 carat rings. And you know, sometimes you just do what you can do in the moment. But when I heard $34.99 Amazon ring, oh honey, oh honey. Oh, honey. And then you sitting there test driving all of those cars. Ooh. Again, like I said, forgive me. I am fresh. Now, let's hop in here. I have tea today. That's how serious I am about this. Because I can't imagine. I just can't imagine going through something like this. And honestly, I've gone through things that are very embarrassing to this level, in my opinion. And I can't bring myself to just openly speak about it. I can't. There's even evidence that I have, videos, voice memos. I mean, the same kind of situation, not exactly, but I don't think I can bring myself. So kudos to you for having the confidence, because girl, I don't know how you did it. And I don't know how you're continuing, because who did you marry? Honestly. I haven't even seen the man's face. I know it's been leaked, but I don't even know who that is.
Sensation, having gone viral last week for her multi-part TikTok story called Who the F Did I Marry? In the over 50-part series, she spent over 7 hours explaining in careful detail what happened between her and her ex-husband. And man, she did have people hooked. With the obsession over short-form content these days, you know the story had to be juicy to get people sucked in for this long. And she said that she was telling the story hoping a woman or someone would be watching thinking it's okay to ask questions. Because she was asking questions in her relationship, and there were definitely a lot of warning signs that she says she wished she had listened to. So Risa Tisa is the username who has been posting on TikTok, whose real name is Teresa Johnson.
Pause.
Based in Atlanta, and in her series,
So let me just tell you, I am locked out of my TikTok account right now, and I'm doing everything to get back into it. I have no idea why. I am just locked out of it. So I didn't know that she was getting views like that. 7 million views, 5 million views, 4, 6, 3 million views. Wow. Yeah, she got people hooked. Where is Netflix? Because I need this recreated. Somebody call Tyler Perry.
She accused her ex-husband of lying about his family, wealth, and career. Honestly, there's just so many more lies as well, but that's pretty much the chunk of it. In the first few parts, she explained how they met, got engaged, and the process of moving in together. The red flags were flying from the beginning of their relationship, but with COVID thrown into the mix and an unexpected pregnancy, she looked past some things, but made sure to keep record, as she did record things for herself so she could remember things he was saying that she felt were off. She did not include her ex-husband's legal name in the story and was referring to him as Legion throughout her TikToks. Basically, they matched on 2 different dating sites, and she explained that he had a different name on both of them, which is why she didn't realize at first that they had matched on 2 different ones. She said that on one site, it was a full name and the other one was a nickname, so if his name was Matthew, on the other side it would have been Matt. When they were dating and they were talking, Legion told her that he had recently moved from California to Atlanta after getting divorced. He said he was working as the vice president of a condiment company, and the two of them moved in together rather quickly after meeting due to COVID and not wanting to quarantine separately. He had said that he used to play arena football and he had made a lot of money doing that and claimed to have a nice savings account, and he said he was looking to settle down, so they ended up wanting to look for a home to purchase together. Things got weird when they tried to purchase this home. The first time the deal fell through, and the second time as well, and he was super sketched out when they asked him to show proof of funds, even though he said he had all this money, and he literally signed that he was making an all-cash offer, but he didn't want to show proof of funds, so the deal fell through. He also claimed to have multiple bank accounts, including one offshore. In the midst of the struggle to buy a home, Teresa ended up having a miscarriage and was trying to heal from that, and realized Legion was not proving to be a supportive partner through that. She said they were engaged to be married, though. It was nothing romantic. They had previously gone ring shopping, and so while she was pregnant, he slid her the ring box at the dinner table and was like, it's settled, like, we're gonna get married. And she does acknowledge that he wasn't the best and that the signs were there.
When I asked y'all to give me grace, it's because there's certain things that's just like, girl, what was you thinking? Trust me. There's no excuse.
But Georgia, I understand.
So there was never a, will you marry me? It was more of a, we're living together, we're having a baby together, we need to get married.
This man was all talk, saying he had money, good relationships with his family and friends, the ability to buy a car, a house. He said so much that she later says is all lies. And throughout this whole thing, Teresa says little details about incidents that explain a little bit of how she was so sucked into what he was saying. As many red flags as there were, he certainly tried to diffuse them, and she did question him a lot, but he always seemed to be able to provide something to her to make her then question herself or just throw her off completely. And let me just throw this in here for legal reasons. Everything that I'm saying in this story is just from what she has posted onto the internet and on TikTok. It's all alleged. I was not there for any of this, so I do not know any of this to be 100% true or factual,
Facts.
but I'm telling you a summary of this 50-part series that I watched. Now, in part 14, she talked about why she did stay as long as she did, and that looking back, she knows that she shouldn't have, but she was ready for marriage and she really wanted this.
A lot of what fueled me staying in this situation really was the fact that, number one, I didn't want to be alone. Number two, I didn't want to look stupid by having the relationship end so quickly for everyone to be like, we told you something was up. And number three, I was ready to get married. And that ready to get married fueled a lot of stuff.
Teresa talked more about the recordings that she had of herself recounting
Which
things that she
sucks.
found off about him and their relationship, saying that listening back, she so clearly knew that something was wrong.
And again, I was still making my audio diaries. So listening back to it, I knew something was wrong. I admit that. I knew something was wrong. But what I thought it was, truthfully, was like, why does it seem like there's always something? It still didn't dawn on me how deep this something went.
A warning to others to listen to your intuition, I believe. But she noted that he was on the phone in front of her
if
a lot,
that ain't the
and
truth.
he talked to tons of people from his family all the time in front of her. He would be on the phone talking about, hey man, yeah, like she's right here. Yeah, Teresa, you want to say hi? Yeah, he says hi. Super convincing that he was on the phone. He would call her while he was at
I'm
work,
sorry.
so she just thought, he liked talking on the phone. She later found out that a lot of the calls that he made were fake, and we will get into all of the stuff that she says that he made up. But at one point, before the end, she had talked about a time where she had gone through his phone because he did give her the password, since she claimed that he preached being open and honest in relationships was important, and she saw him sending very spicy messages to women on Facebook, and she confronted him, and he said that it was not anything serious in those messages, trying to say that, it wasn't anything to be concerned about. But they ended up going to marriage counseling, and the counselor was concerned that they'd only been married 3 months at this point, and some type of infidelity was happening, and said that had they come to them for counseling any earlier, they would have told them not to get married. I mean, this man was married to her, and she claimed that he wouldn't even show her his bank accounts to put her mind at ease that he had the funds that he kept saying that he had. Obviously, not salad brown for marriage. She said that they continued counseling up until a week before that she left him, because yes, you guys, she did end up leaving this man. And to get into how she uncovered the truth about him and why she left.
And that is why I feel Love is Blind is just such a great show, right? Because I feel it separates love from marriage. And I know there's some people that are like, what do you mean? Like, you need to be in love with the person to get married. But I feel women are in such a different category when it comes to marriage, to where there's some women that are just, I will marry anything. I don't know if y'all heard about the woman that's marrying her holograph. A holograph. I don't know if it's created or what, but she's marrying a holograph. So there are women that will just, it doesn't really matter. It's just like, well, at least I'm getting married. At least I'm finally hitting this pinnacle that so many people tell me that I need to hit before 30. You know what I mean? And it just sucks, because it's like, it could be hell, the worst situation ever, but because you can walk around with a ring on your finger, you can walk around saying, yeah, my husband, wait, I gotta call my husband, wait, where's my husband, oh, I gotta ask my husband if I can do that. I don't know why it's such a wanted, needed, it's such a goal that is just conditioned into women pretty much the second you're born. You hear it, whether it's from your parents, a TV show, well, at your wedding it'll be like this, and you're gonna be so happy when you get married, you're gonna be so happy when you meet your soulmate, you're gonna be so happy when you meet your person, have a family, have babies, blah 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 blah. And it's just crazy how you can put yourself in so much harm's way just for you to say, I am married, just for you to say, yes, I have a husband. Yes, I am taken care of. Yes, I have a provider. Whatever it may be. It may not even be a provider. It may just be somebody that's, in your house and making sure that you're satisfied sexually. But because you have this ring, you walk around on a high horse that you are better than everybody else, when there are millions and billions of people who are married. But it's almost as if you are not there, if you don't hit that at 30 years old, or if you don't hit that by 40, whatever age it may be, it's so much more of an attribute for women that have to do it. And if you don't, something is wrong with you. If you're not married, something is wrong with you. If you don't have children and you're 45 years old, something must have been wrong with you and still is wrong with you. So it's like you're being pulled in so many different directions. You got this emotional side that's just very much like, something's definitely not right. You got your intuition, like, oh my God, like maybe I shouldn't be doing this, cold feet, whatever it may be. And then you got this other logical side that's like, oh, well, I'm not getting any younger. I'm not getting any younger. If I want to have a family, I'm going to have to do this. And then, of course, you got religion that comes into play. And it's just, it's just so much, honestly. Like, it's so much pressure. And we will definitely talk about Love is Blind, because the way I am caught up on there, the way I am caught up on Love is Blind is just, this season is something serious. And I just pray none of them say I do at the end. I pray none of them do, because if any of them get married, I doubt it's gonna last. I truly doubt it. I truly doubt it. And that's not even me wanting people to not be happy, but I don't see them as couples that are gonna last in a marriage. I just don't. You tell me, are you caught up on Love is Blind? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know who your favorite couple is.
Left him. Like I mentioned, this man lied a lot, and things really escalated when she applied for a new job and needed his social security number in order to fill out an application because they wanted information on her spouse. When a background check was being completed on the two of them, she found out that the social security number that he had on the application was different from the one that he had given her when they got their marriage license, which back then she had looked up that number after getting the marriage license and nothing came up, so she thought maybe she had written the number down wrong or something. But when she looked into it this time, she found out who she was really married to. Information that revealed he never lived in California like he told her. He had worked as a temporary forklift driver, he lied about where he went to college, and his family members knew all about his habit of lying, and they did not speak to him. When she had confronted him about things like college, he said that he was a private citizen, so that's why there's no record of him. She later did another background check on him with a different company, and this is when she was able to find the name of his ex-wife. She was able to get her hands on their records, and it was clear that they had been living together in Georgia and divorced in Georgia, never in California. She said she saw that they were only married for 6 months, there was cheating, and she had filed to divorce him. In the documents, the ex-wife's phone number was also listed, so she wrote it down. Now, this is something to note, but in the midst of her going to marriage counseling with Legion, one day he had called her while he was at work and said that his stepdaughter had passed away due to COVID, and asked if it would be alright if he sent money to his ex-wife for the funeral, and of course Therese was like, yes, like, you know, who would be lying about
Which
that?
is
Well,
insane.
she said that when she ended up reaching out to his ex-wife, she confirmed that her daughter was alive and well, and she also told her that everything...
It's just like, how can you sit there and lie like that? How can you sit there and lie on someone's life like that? It's just, it's absolutely disgusting.
Legion says is a lie.
It is.
I asked her, how is your daughter? She said, my daughter's fine. And I said, okay. She said, what did he say about my daughter? And I will be honest with y'all, I didn't have the heart to tell her.
And good
so
for
what I said
you.
instead was,
Because Lord knows I would have.
COVID. I think she might have.
I would have.
She might have had COVID or was exposed to it. I downplayed it bad. I wasn't going to tell that woman that he said her daughter passed away.
After this, she later discovered the obituary for Legion's mom, which listed the family members that she was leaving behind at the time of her death, which listed his dad, brothers, himself, and his wife, Latoya, who was not the wife that she had spoken with on the phone and didn't know who this woman was.
Bingo.
There were no sisters listed,
So he married
but
3
he told her
times.
that he had 2 sisters. She said she was confused because on their marriage license, he had put that he had only 1 previous marriage, and she ended up looking into it and finding a record of this Latoya marriage, and it looked like he had filed for divorce against her, and both of them had a protection order against each other. And at the time of her doing all this investigating, she said that he was nearly bedridden from a knee injury that he had gotten, and he wasn't lying about being in pain because he wasn't eating, he was losing weight really rapidly, and she wanted to go to the doctor with him to know what was up, but she said that he kept claiming that the doctor had said to just ice the knee. She was suspicious of him, so she goes to look through his phone one day and sees messages with a woman named Peaches who was listing the prices of her services, if you know what I mean, and he told her what he wanted. She ended up seeing messages of him thanking her, so she assumed that they met up and he had gotten services from her. She confronted him on June 17, 2021, on his birthday, while he was in bed watching YouTube, and she told him what she had found about him and his lies, and said that she wanted a divorce. And she says that he was fighting her on it, and she told him to get out of the house. She said that at first he refused, and then called his aunt and put her on speaker and said what was going on, and said that, you know, he never lied to her, and that's what made her snap. His aunt told him to leave the house because she was scared for him, and he did eventually leave. Teresa ends up hearing from his cousin eventually, saying that she looked her up and wanted to know what happened because this man is a known liar, and none of them knew he was ever married. But he's coming around to his family, begging them to sleep on their couches right now because he has nowhere else to go, and he caught his wife cheating on him, and the guy that she cheated with threatened him with a weapon. She was like, what are you talking about? He talks on the phone with his family all the time. How do you not know who I am? And ended up finding out that he was faking those calls with his family, and they were never real. And then she finds out that he lied about the family members that he had. The parents had 3 boys and no daughters, and she got a lot of answers and found out the family was not speaking with him at all. She ended up getting in contact with one of the brothers, who cleared up even more and had things to say to her.
He was like, I realized that every relationship my brother gets in, he gets worse. And it sounds like he is actually worse than what he was in the last relationship. And I thought he was talking about the ex-wife that I had spoken to. No, he had no idea there was another wife. Because again, he hasn't spoken to him since 2015.
It's not funny, but my God.
So he was like, The best thing I can say to you is this. He said, thank God you ain't have kids with him.
Okay.
He said, get your divorce and forget you ever met this man.
She later filed for divorce less than a year into their marriage, and of course, he didn't make it easy on her, but she got it done. She says that she has not spoken to him since their divorce and does not plan to do so
Can
ever
you
again. Now, this
imagine
doesn't
the
even begin to scratch the surface of the
PTSD?
details that she gave about this man, so I urge you to really go and listen to it yourself. There's a reason it was hours long to get through this story, but now that the story has been put out there, things have gotten quite messy. Like I mentioned, she gave her ex-husband the name Legion in her story, but it seems like she did not change everyone else's names. Pretty much, if the person was a good person, then she left their name to just be normal. And given that she went into great detail in her story, the internet sleuths went on a mission attempting to track down the real-life character of the story. TikTokers managed to track down a man named Jerome McCoy, whose photos appear to match up with the details Teresa shared about her ex-husband. Clayton County's legal records for him also seem to support some of her story, as there is a filing showing that Teresa filed for divorce from a Jerome McCoy in June of 2021. The records also show his previous divorce from a woman named Latoya. Teresa had mentioned in her series that she had found evidence of his first wife being named Latoya, so that matched.
And this is why you have to be so careful on TikTok. Like, this is exactly why you have to be so careful on TikTok. And you know, the thing is like, even what I talk about on TikTok, like, there are times where I'm just like, I don't want to show my boyfriend's face. Like, I don't want to say his name. I don't like, and not to say like I'm, this super well-known person, but it's just like, not even just TikTok, but social media in general. It's just like, I just don't see how these people come together and find out these details. And I get it. You have to have the time. You really got to have the grit to be going through, public records and puzzles and basically just doing a whole map of who this person is, how are we gonna find out their real name, where they went to school. I mean, doxing, all of that stuff. It's just so scary. Like, it's terrifying. And I just feel that you have to really be careful, especially if you're older, right? Obviously, this is an older woman, so she may have thought she was doing, everything responsibly the way that she could have. But I just,
the curiosity of wanting to see and find certain people. But please, 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 before you decide to copy and paste and share on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, wherever, please take a moment and just pause, please. I understand that, he's out there and other people are trying to find other people in the story. I know it was entertaining, but these people, including even Legion, some of these people have real lives and they didn't ask for this. I understand wanting to know more about Legion, wanting to know who he is. I'm just simply saying there's a difference between, I know who he is, and exposing him and interacting with him for likes and views. And I just respectfully ask that maybe we just pause on doing that, because I know that this person is capable of taking that attention and feeling as though you're antagonizing me. And then that sometimes will push people into a place that we don't want. So
that is why I'm so protective of people and stories I tell sometimes. If they're not a public figure, if they're not somebody who's like just already out there, willy-nilly, I'm very protective of that person, because not everybody is going to want to hop on a camera and sit down on YouTube and have everybody be like, hey, like, this is my legal name, this is who I am, and hi, how you doing? You know what I mean? Because you just never know. Like, there could be people out there that just don't like who you are. They don't like your presence. They don't like your energy. They don't care. They're going to, find out what they can find out, put it on Reddit, put it over here, put it over there. And if that bothers you as somebody who does not, want to be on social media, this is the kind of stuff that is going to come out. This is the kind of stuff that's going to come out. And once it's out, it's out. Once it's out, it's out. And I honestly, I feel bad, because the thing is, and I don't think it's an excuse, because obviously this man is past trash, past garbage, okay? But there are certain things you go through in life, a journey you may be on, that you don't want exposed, you know what I mean? And that is just, oh my God, that's just crazy. Plus, it can also catapult somebody into doing something that goes way past the realms of social media. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. This man might just snap one day and go find her, and then before you know it, she ain't here no more, because somebody felt the need to, find out who he was, expose his face, and, oh, this is his real name, his last name, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I just wish there was more of a protection clause around that, because it can get dangerous really, really quickly and very fast, depending on who you're talking to and who you're messing with. And it's honestly like what I went through a couple years ago when I was dating somebody who was quote unquote famous. And a lot of you, if you guys remember, you wanted me to out the story, tell who the person was, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it, because I just knew it would go viral. People would be like, whoa, hold up, that's the person. And obviously being a public figure, it would have even went even more viral. Not me being the public figure, but that person being the public figure. So it's just like, you just gotta be careful, man. I don't know, man. But also part of me is like, girl, why did you do this? But at the same time, I get it. It is therapeutic to just be able to just speak and talk about it and just be like, you know what I mean? But there's some people that just don't respect that. You know, there's some people that are just like, I don't respect people with social media platforms. I don't respect people who put their business out there. I don't respect couple channels, family channels. You know what I mean? So I get it. That very much is validated in my opinion. So I understand. But damn, the way TikTok will find out anyone, child.
She's up. And now a woman claiming to be Latoya has been posting videos suggesting she had a similar experience to Teresa, saying this man ruined her life.
Because it's been brought to my
she's
attention
beautiful.
that my ex-husband is out here in these streets disturbing individuals as he
This
always
Latoya?
has, and I have been brought into this.
Oh, wow.
Let me first say, this chapter of my life is closed.
Of
I have
course.
moved on. It's
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. She's actually very beautiful. I cannot believe... I'm telling you, I feel like marriage is just so tricky. You really got to be careful who you marry. You got to be careful who you're with. You just have to be.
It's been more than 10 years. I'm over it. I'm done. I'm good, okay?
Okay.
But after I say this, let's just leave it alone.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm not going to address it anymore because I have nothing to do with this. This is my past life.
Okay.
The book is closed, okay?
Okay.
So Legion, as y'all call him, is a despicable, nasty, and vile individual.
Woo.
I fell for the trap over 10 years ago. Yes, he was charming, and I was broken mentally. Okay? Understand, self-love was not here at all for me to actually love myself enough to understand that this is not love. He manipulated me. He love-bombed me. All of that, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that and everything else. Yes, all of these things were said to me. Guess what? None of it happened. He's manipulative, and he literally tried to ruin my life.
Public records show a handful of arrests for Jerome McCoy, once for impersonating a police officer, and then in 2016 for criminal trespassing. And since all of this was coming out, the man himself seems to be speaking out on TikTok.
That's
a
him?
TikToker posting under the name Jerome JC Rome McCoy seemed to respond to Teresa.
My message to her is please stop lying to these people, and you can tell them the real reason I left you. You cheated. I caught you in the house with Bradley, and
Bradley.
we went to marriage counseling, didn't work, and we broke it up.
On Tuesday, TMZ claimed to have gotten in touch with him, and he told them that he wants to take some sort of legal action against Teresa, claiming that he is not the man
TMZ
who he
getting
has been portrayed
involved.
as in the TikTok series. He ended up posting more on TikTok on an account that now seems to be deleted, but after watching some of these, it's pretty easy to believe how he was able to have fake conversations on the phone for hours. But he's claiming once again everything is a lie and trying to defend himself.
You don't know something about somebody you dated? Ask. Stop trying to Google them and trying to find out stuff. And if they tell you right now, it ain't necessarily none of your business, maybe you should just leave it alone. Everything ain't your business all the time about everybody. Every detail of their personal life when you first meet is not your business. It takes time and years to get to know somebody that way sometimes. Please allow the process to be the process and don't try to just dive in, because what you can do is end up putting your foot in your mouth and looking real stupid at the end of the day for saying something, making a comment about something you don't even know. So, again, allow a relationship to progress, allow a person to tell you in their own time, don't go digging because you never know what you might find. And then, honestly, there's two sides to every story, so don't just sit there trying to Google people all the time, because Google wrong most of the time. Come on, man. Talk to the person you with. Stop all that foolishness, man.
He also ended up claiming that Netflix has been sitting down with him and he's going to be giving them his side of the story. And when people asked for proof, he posted a video on TikTok of what looks to be the Netflix office. He later revealed that he had just downloaded a video from someone else showing off the Netflix Singapore office and posted that on his story.
Of course he
was
did.
the one that was recording that. And the internet has been joking that he's trying to fool us all next. After all the backlash he received, it looks like he posted this on TikTok. But once again, I'm not sure if this is 100% him. People are saying that it is, but this is what was said. Hey y'all, I really think I'm gonna delete TikTok. It's just not good for my mental health. All this really took a toll on me. I ain't lie about anything, nor did I ever badmouth any of these females. I'll let karma handle it. Y'all will see my truth on Netflix in a couple of months. The truth will be called Jerome McCoy The Truth. Until then, stop slandering my name. Also, spin-off show to come in Singapore with other men who went through similar. I'm out. Sincerely, Sir Jerome David McCoy.
Why would Netflix give you the floor to speak of this situation as if she didn't have a 50-part series before you even came into the picture for us to even know your legal name? Sir, have several freaking seats.
Teresa also recently gave an update saying that
What?
she heard from his older brother Chris and cleared up the timelines for her even more, and also a diagnosis for Legion. She also shared that the family gave her permission to share this information publicly and that they are not upset with her for sharing her story. But some of what he lied to her about had to do with people he knew passing away, as I mentioned, and the brother was able to give her some more context to all of that.
Legion's older brother, Chris, reached out to my friend, Tracy Tripp, an attorney here in Metro Atlanta. He called her firm to ask how he can get in contact with me. He verified, because I was on speakerphone when she called me, that he was in fact the older brother. I felt comfortable. I called him from my personal phone. He and I spoke, and there were two things that he asked for me to clear up. Here it is. Number one, Legion's mother passed away first. His father passed away a few years later. It was at the father's funeral that Legion brought his ex-wife, and apparently there was an altercation of some kind between Legion and his older brother. They have not seen each other since the father's funeral. The information that I initially gave in my 50-part series was that they have not seen each other since the mother's funeral.
She says that while talking to the brother, he also talked about how their parents did try to help him out over the years.
Secondly, Chris wanted me to also let you all know that their parents, though they are passed away, the parents did everything they could to get Legion psychiatric help. At one point, they were taking him to different therapists and psychologists. He's been diagnosed as a kid with both bipolar and schizophrenia. I did not know this. Chris informed me today, Monday, February 26th, during that phone call, that their father came out of retirement to help pay for the medications. And as Legion got older, he refused to take them.
Since all of this, Teresa has received so much love from the public. Not only are people obsessed with her story, but they are loving her as a person, and several brands and companies have reached out wanting to treat her. In her story, she talked about a time where Legion had alleged he was buying her a car, and there were so many lies that happened here. He took her test driving these cars, got her all excited,
Crazy.
and on the day that the car was to be delivered, it never happened. Now, BMW seems to want to get her a car, or at least people think that, because they commented on her TikTok saying, "Please hold starting part 1 now." And posted a TikTok onto their account on her way to find a dark blue BMW X5 with a cognac interior, which she had once said was her dream. At one point in their relationship, Legion had printed out an itinerary for a trip.
BMW.
He knew it was a lifelong dream of hers. Apparently, he went all out printing out flights, hotels, excursions, got her all excited, went above and beyond. But of course, she says he did not actually buy tickets to London or make these plans. And so, after hearing the story, several companies have seemingly wanted to give her the opportunity to go. Delta commented saying, "Your trip of a lifetime needs to start in Delta 1. Flights on us." Hilton commented saying, "You want to do the most, and we're the hostess with the mostest. Let's get you the stay you deserve. Hashtag Risa in Europe." YouTuber Susan Yara even made a TikTok saying her and her husband love the series so much she would pay to send Teresa herself.
Can you just do me a favor? Will you tag Risa Tisa here, because I want to send her to London. Just on my own personal time. I was so intrigued by her story. My husband and I sat there on the sofa, mirroring the TikToks on the television just so we could watch this. And I feel like we connected. We're besties, and I would love to send her to London on my own time. I will treat her and her girlfriend to a wonderful experience.
Oh,
because I think
wow.
she deserves it.
Teresa did end up sharing that she has gotten the tickets to London and Paris and will take her followers along on the journey.
I'm going to London and Paris. I'm so excited. It is official. I get to go to London
That's
and Paris.
exciting.
These two cities I've been wanting to go to since I was in high school.
Yeah.
And you guys, I'm going to make the most of this trip.
Girl, come
I
on
want to
over.
see Westminster Abbey. I want to see the Tower of London. I want to see Buckingham Palace. What up, Charles? I'm trying to see it all. Then I'm trying to catch a
What
flight
up,
over to
Charles?
Paris. Or should I take a train? I want to see the Eiffel Tower. I want to see the Palace of Versailles, the Hall of Mirrors. I want to see the Louvre.
Oh, wow.
I want to eat an eclair at a nice French cafe. I want to experience everything.
Oh,
So this
wow.
crazy insane story does seem to have a happy ending, despite the drama going down with her ex coming out and speaking out to the press and on TikTok alleging he's going to sue. But she clearly has the funds to battle him, if so, and I think the entire internet would have her back in the fight as well.
Absolutely.
He clearly has not had the best track record with funds, so that would be quite messy if he were to proceed with that process. But as of right now, that's what's been going on in this crazy viral series. Let me know if you guys have been following along in this, and if you haven't heard about it before, I'll link the full series below, because honestly, this is something that you want to hear all the little details about.
Yeah.
So give it a listen, let me know your thoughts. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye. That is absolutely nuts. Like I said, you guys, I am fresh to the party, so I just finished it this morning, so I had no idea about any of the updates. BMW, her going to London, like I didn't know any of that, but that is crazy. But you know, when I was watching it too, I was thinking very much like, this is a testimony right here, because think about how many other women in the world, men in the world, that have stories like this that probably are just absolutely terrified to, you know, say anything about it whatsoever. But oh my Lord Jesus, I'm happy for her. I'm happy that she's gonna be able to go and do what she needs to do. Now, I did see this video. Actually, I didn't watch the video, but I just saw the thumbnail and it said something about like she's lying or she lied. I didn't know if that was clickbait or not. I didn't click on it, but I don't see why you would lie about this. And there's just too many details to lie. And then on top of that, it's embarrassing. Like, let's be honest, it's an embarrassing story. But this definitely has changed her life for the better. At least it seems to me. I mean, girl, you get to go to London, you get to go to Paris, come on over. It's gonna be chilly. It's freaking cold here right now, in my opinion. But dang, you guys, I was not prepared. I was not prepared. As much as I saw people posting about it, talking about it, I was just like, 7 hours, 8 hours. Listen, we're gonna have to do that on a day where I don't have anything going on. But now that I have completed it, I don't know how I could prepare anybody for the story. As much as this video is kind of like, you know, a quick little synopsis of everything, when you're sitting there watching it and listening to it and just going from part to part, it's just like, it's like you're on the phone with your friend and you're just like, girl, what? And then what happened? Like I was sitting there, you know, catching myself going, yeah, exactly. Like I was talking to her, you know. It's just, it really terrifies me. It terrifies me. It's absolutely scary to know that you can think that you found somebody, you are about to start a new life, you're about to start a family, you're about to get married, and it's all a lie. The whole thing is a sham. The whole thing is a scam. And I just can't even begin to imagine the level of PTSD, the level of, I mean, her trust is completely broken now, you know, and that's why I always tell people it's just so, it's hard for me to trust. Because after you've been hurt and you've just seen people just say and do things and lie about things and catch them in lies and, you know, feel like you're going crazy, and it makes you very paranoid, and it's very hard to proceed in other relationships after those things happen, because then you sitting there trying to make sure you're not going to go through it again. But let me know if you have watched this series, okay? Let me know what you think about Miss Risa Tisa, because girl, I can't even imagine going through something like this with a man. I can't imagine it. I really, really can't imagine it. It just sounds absolutely insane. Just the thought of it is like mind-blowing. But if you made it all the way to the end of this video, I would like to thank you. This was a long one. Let me know your thoughts, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it, and I will see y'all all in the next video. And hopefully Risa Tisa does like a little, I don't know, meet or greet out here in London. That would be cool. That would be actually really cool. I'd probably definitely go. I would definitely go and see her, because that would be so cool. She should do meet and greets. Like I said, y'all, I am fresh in this story, and it just has me unbelievably shook. And now I'm closing my laptop now, because goodbye, you guys. And always follow your intuition. Any red flag you see, please don't be like me and think you're a bull and you're going to chase the red flag. Don't do it, because I've done it so many times in my life. Ignore the red flag. I mean, don't ignore the red flag. You see what I'm saying? It's subconsciously in my brain. Anyways, bye, you guys. Because, child, I just cannot believe it.
Is there more?